Hey, this is Flay, and you're watching PHILA TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera, and this is my red paperclip challenge. All right, so I'm kind of looking around the shop today. You know, I've always got stuff going on, stuff for sale, stuff trading, cars, projects, all kinds of stuff going on. As you can see, I got my Max Wedge here, I got my 914s up off the ground, and I've got my bus, and I just recently got rid of my 912. And it started making me think that, you know, each one of my cars kind of has its own lineage. Like, you know, the Max Wedge I got from a 59 Westphalia that I built when I sold something else, and my Porsche 914 here I got after I sold my Carmen Ghia. The bus that you see over there I got after building a 63 bug and a 64 bug. Then I got an oval window, sold that, and then I bought the bus and put it together. So I've always got projects going on like that. And once I sell off a project, I like to start another project. So I've kind of been, thinking about when I first got my 912 and the lineage story that goes along with it. And it's kind of like that red paperclip story where that guy traded a red paperclip all the way up and got a house. It's kind of the same thing for me. What I have done is, I started with maybe bicycles. I think I traded 2 Schwinn Stingrays to this guy for this Baja and built it up ever from there. So let's take a look at this little video that I put together, and it kind of will show you the lineage of my poor little 912 that just got sold 3 days ago. Okay, besides cars and parts, I'm really into building stuff and trading and selling and stuff. So there was a time where I was building these little tiny teardrop trailers, which were pretty cool. My kids were really young, and we started getting into camping. So I built one and I really liked it. So I built another and another and another, just like I always do with everything I get into. And then I thought, this is fun camping and pulling it with my truck and stuff, but wouldn't it be cool to get back into buses, since I had a bunch of buses when they were cheap, and I figured I'd get back into them, and we'll see if we can camp out of that. So I came across a couple of these and fixed them up, got them running, got them cruising, got killer deals on them because it was back then where people didn't really want buses. And I even built a teardrop trailer to tow behind my Westphalia. I wound up selling everything off, and sure enough, I got my wife her Mallard trailer, complete with a shower and a toilet and a kitchen and all that kind of stuff. And it was great, and we had a lot of fun with it. But I still wanted something more. So I figured I want to try to work my way up to getting a supercar. I've always loved Porsches and wanted a Porsche my whole life. And, I was also really into bicycles. So during this whole time, after getting my Mallard, I found like some parts, and I started putting together a couple of Schwinn Stingrays, of course, the 63 and 64s. Then the next thing you know, I had a garage full of them, and that was a lot of fun, trading and getting parts for them. Then I started on the girls' bikes, and I had a bunch of those, but I figured it was time to get kind of back into cars. I also had a bunch of these cycle trucks, which are those delivery bicycles, and all the neighborhood kids loved riding these Schwinns. It was like the coolest thing when they came ripping by on my bikes. So I decided it was time to start working on cars again. And then I saw this little red car sitting in front of a scrapyard around the corner from my work, and I wound up picking it up for a song, and I got it on the road, but it had some rust issues and the door jams and heater channel, so I kind of set it aside. Then I got this Baja for free from a friend of mine's neighbor, and I sold that for a few $100. And then I found out one of my neighbors around the corner had this Baja sitting on the side of his house, which I traded 2 Stingrays for. And since I had the other red bug, I figured I got all the parts I need to put that little Baja back together, which I did, and it was pretty cool. I wound up selling it for $1,500, which was, pretty good deal back in those days. The reason why I sold it, because right around the corner, there was this Camaro sitting in the street for sale. Okay, it didn't look exactly like that. It had different wheels and stuff, but I got this for $1,600, and it wasn't running. I got it running and driving. It was pretty cool. And then some guy I met really liked it, and since I was more of a Dodge guy than a Chevy guy, we worked the deal out, and I traded it to him for this 1964 Dodge that had a Dick Landy motor in it. And I figured it would go really good with my 64 Dodge that I already had sitting in my garage. And the only thing better than 2 Dodges in your garage is having 3 Dodges on your driveway. So I was pretty set and pretty content. But I saw this little hot rod for sale, and I just figured I had to have it. So I traded some things, and I sold one of my Dodges, and I bought this little hot rod. And then not too much longer, I had a garage with a disabled car on it. So I started scouring up some parts, found another chassis, found some wheels and tires. You know, I just wanted to build a traditional, 30s or 40s looking kind of Lakester, rat rod type of deal. So that was all cool. After getting all the parts, I figured out that I could actually put almost 2 cars together, and I started also building this little truck. So I finally got it was a 29.5 window. I got a Studebaker motor in it, put dual carbs in it, had it running and driving, but it really wasn't my cup of tea. It was just kind of one of these wild hairs I had that I wanted to build one of these things. And it was kind of cool. And then I was walking past my boss's desk, and I saw this picture on her computer of this little blue Porsche. And I go, whoa, what's up with that? She goes, oh, my husband just got this out of the barn, and he's just kind of polishing it up to see how it's going to look. And I go, wait, your husband has this little Porsche? Well, he's like more of a hot rod guy. I'd love to have this little Porsche. Let's see if we can work a deal out. Why don't you send him a picture of my little 29 Ford and say, hey, Phil's ready to trade straight across for this. And within a day or two, we had a deal sparked, and he did like the car. So we got a trailer, we moved the cars around, and before you know it, the 912 was sitting in my driveway. I had found a couple years before that, I'd found this motor in a scrap pile and just had it laying around. So, it was pretty clean. So we disassembled the motor, checked everything, and it was a standard engine, standard crank. So it was totally rebuildable. Got it all torn down, got all the parts we needed. And then before you know it, we had a motor assembled and ready to go. And shortly thereafter, the motor was in the car, and I had my supercar. That's right. Starting with a pair of Stingray bicycles, I traded it up and wound up at the end of the day with my supercar. So I drove out, got some hot dogs. Was pretty happy to have my car cruising. It fit really well into my little stable there. But like all good projects, it's got to come to the end because you need the money. So, and now since everything's sold off, it's time to come up with another idea. I'm really starting to really like these Puma Brazilian little cars that they made. They're pretty tough to get, but you do find them popping up once in a while. In fact, I just scored one with a friend of mine. I'm also really like buggies too, and I've built a couple back in the day, and I think it's time to build another one. So I'm out looking at deals on buggies. There's a few out there. I have an idea of what I want, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna score myself a buggy, maybe even get a buggy and a Puma. Who knows? But you can't beat a really nice Manx buggy. They're just gorgeous. So the other day, my friend Paul and I, we picked up this yellow Puma convertible that he's going to be really into, and I figured why not get one myself. So I think I'm going to take a stronger look at that little white one. I've already been in touch with the guy, and I think I'm going to send him a payment tomorrow and get my driver to go pick up that vehicle, because that would be a pretty fun little car to build. So anyways, that's it. That's how I trade my cars up. And like I said, once you get to a certain point, you sell them off and start over again. So like I said, hopefully there's going to be a Puma or a buggy in my near future. Thanks for watching PHILA TV. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow me along. There's going to be much more to see. Thanks for watching PHILA TV.